Well, I'm taking the big step. I'm going to give Blender a shot. What is Blender, you ask? Basically, it's a 3D modeling program. The nice thing about it is that it's free. The bad thing about it is that my computer may not have the heft to run the program, in addition to running the screen capture program that I run simultaneously when I'm recording my videos. My approach is going to be to proceed until something breaks down. And I'm not only talking about my hardware. I've heard that Blender has a steep learning curve. I'm getting ready to find out. I will still be dropping Affinity videos. I haven't given up on that. To download the program, you have to go to blender.org. So I'll go in here and just type blender.org, and that will open up the site that looks like this. Now, the only thing you have to do is to go up here to download and just press the download link. And then right here, you'll see another download button. This defaults to Windows. So if you have something, if you're running something else, if you're not running Windows, like if you're using a Mac or other operating systems, you're going to have to go down into this drop down and pick the one that's right for you. So I'm going to click Download Blender. I had already installed it before, but I am installing it all over again so that you can see what it looks like. You'll see a donate button. Since it's free, they do ask for money. It's going to be downloading everything here. And okay, and then I'm just going to punch Open File. And right here it's preparing to install. My installer popped up, and I will just go next and install. And once it's done, you should see the little bitty icon pop up on your desktop. Yes, we do want to allow the app to make changes so that we can use the program. Okay, I will uncheck Learn how to support Blender, and then I will just say Finish, and it should be done. I'm going to go up here and close this because I'm not only going to be running Blender, but I'm also running Camtasia. That's my screen recorder down here in the background. So I don't want to have too many things open, as I'm really not sure how much Blender I'm going to be able to operate before my system has a heart attack. Okay, so I'm going to go down here and I'm going to open Blender. Don't get worried if you have that blank screen. That's why I wanted to install it all over again so that you could see what it looked like when I did it. Now, when it first opens up, you're going to have a splash page that looks like this. Over here are all the new file things that you can click on. I have not clicked on these. And over here, the getting started, those things are always interesting. So if I click on manual, then it's going to open up the reference manual where it's going to have all sorts of nifty things like about Blender, configuring it, installing it, help system, user interface, and all that sort of thing. I don't know how much you read these things. I hardly ever do, but I have this sneaking hunch that I am going to be doing that quite a bit. Okay, so we'll close that and open Blender back up. We have a support tab right here, and here's where you can get support, a user manual, tutorials, and all sorts of things. Then there's frequently asked questions. Whenever I go into frequently asked questions, no one ever asks the question I want to ask. But who knows, that might change. If it's buggy and you want to report a bug and all that sort of thing. So here's the support screen. And then we have user communities. I'm not going to open that. Blender has a community. I don't know if I'm going to get good enough at doing this that I'm ever going to be in the Blender community. Right now, the only communities I'm a member of are AARP and Medicare, and Texas Teachers Retirement Community. That's more my speed. So I'm not sure about this, but hey, who knows? Then here's Get Involved, and then the Blender website, which is probably useful. If you want to donate, then you can click on that. Now, right here, General, this is where it's going to open the screen so that you can see what the dashboard looks like or the surface. Or what you can do is you can just click out here, and that's going to get rid of that. Okay, now, when you take a look at this and you see all this, the first thing that you'll notice is that there's a block in the middle of the page. Well, why is that block there? It's called the default cube. And this is the starting place where you can practice moving things around as well as testing shading and lighting and all that sort of thing. The only thing I really knew about Blender before is it had this block and that people tend to make a lot of donuts. Maybe I'll find out why that is. So let's take a look at the layout where the block is sitting. The most important thing I've discovered, and I'm not really good about using shortcut keys, is that Control N takes you back to the beginning if you really screw things up. That is just as important as knowing where the bathroom is in a restaurant. So if you get royally screwed up and you just want to go back to the beginning, all you have to do is do Control N and it will take you back here. Or if you want to, you can just go to File and New and hit General, and that will take you back to the beginning also. So that will get you back here. Another thing I found out, and that's about the only thing I learned about this, so the rest of the time after I show you this, I'm just going to be punching around on these buttons. I am not going to know what opens. But I did discover that use the mouse wheel, it makes things bigger and smaller. I have a book on Blender that I have started reading, and imagine that they still have books on software. I know that's hard to believe, but they still do. And I guess it revolves around the scroll wheel, which is what I'm using to make it bigger and make it smaller. So you've got the block here, which gives you the starting point. Then you have this thing over here, which is the camera. So if I click on that, it will select it. And over here, there's a little collection of things. So if I click on, well, let me see. I mean, what could it hurt? I'll click on camera. There it selects the camera. I'm not going to do anything because I don't know what to do with it. And then you select cube. That selects your cubes. And then light, which is up here. So you have a camera, you have a light, and you have a cube. Over here, we have this list of things. Right here looks an awful lot looks like the move tool in Affinity, but it's what you use to select the box. And right here, it says cursor. It says set cursor location, drag to transform. So let's select that and see what that even means. I'm not even sure what this is supposed to be doing, but I guess this is your cursor. And it tells you, the cursor tells you where it's going because you can see that up here. See, when it moves, it will tell you where it is. But I'm not positive about what it's supposed to be doing, but I'm sure we'll find that out later. Then here it says move selected items. So I can move my block. So that is the move tool. It's not the arrow that looks like the move tool. This moves the block around. Okay, so I found that out. That's handy. Right here, this says rotate. I bet you we can rotate the block with this. This is kind of nifty. So we can rotate our block. And then right here, scale, resize selected items. Let's yank on this. Okay, I guess you can, but you're not resizing it the same length in all directions. You're only resizing it, that's what it looks like, in the direction that you're pulling it. So that's, and now remember, I think this is probably obvious to you that you have, since we're in 3D, you have an X, Y, and a Z axis. You just don't have an X and a Y axis like you would on flat paper or on a piece of graph paper or anything like that. Okay, so right here we have transform, and let's see what's going on here. I am getting into this. Okay, we can move that down here and so on. And move this out here. So this is transform, and right here you have annotate, where you can make notes down here. So there's that. And then this has a little compass. It says measure. So you can measure from anywhere. And there it is. There's your measurement. And then we have add a cube. Huh. Add. Am I supposed to click on it? Oh, you have to drag. Okay. So I add a cube. There we go. And then you make it big. Oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm just making my mouse run up and down. Okay, so that's how you do that. Hopefully I'll retain some of this stuff when I actually start learning how to do some of this stuff. So there's that. Click that down, and then there's your cube. Let's go over here and do that again since I've gotten into this. Make a giant cube, click, and there's our giant cube. Now, let's go back over here, and that's called select box. Okay. Now, over here, we have a bunch of axes. When I had first looked at this, I didn't punch on any of them, but you have a Z, Y, and an X, and I'm guessing that this rotates your selected block around the X, this rotates your selected block around the Y, and this rotates your selected block around the Z. I don't know what these other ones do. I'm not sure. So let's just click X. Whoa. And oh, there we go. Okay. What I did the first time is I just punched it and it made everything flat. So here we are rotating there. And let's just grab Y. And now we're rotating around the Y. This is getting a little big. Let's do that. There. And now here's Z. Okay, so this is how we rotate. I can guess this is going to take some getting used to. And then we have these. Let's stick the Y around. But we have this one, this minus X preset viewpoint. Uh-oh. Something happened. Oh, well, I'm not really sure why this is different. I'll probably learn about that. But anyway, this little group of little nuggets over here, this is how you rotate things around. Over here, okay, this is select camera, cube, Cubo 1. So there's Cubo 1 down there, poor little thing. And then we have Cube 2, Cube 3, and so on. So over here you can select the ones you want to work on. Since I don't know how to do anything, we're not going to do that. I just wanted to show you around. So that is this part of Blender, and wish me luck that I am back for the first lesson. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I saw somebody doing flowers, and since I did flowers in Affinity, I'm going to see if I can do that. I don't know if that's too advanced for me or not, since I don't know anything. So I will be back. Hopefully, I probably won't do this every week because I'm doing Affinity, but I will be back with the next installment as long as my hardware is good enough for this program. I previously installed Blender and opened it before I made this video. I didn't do much of anything then as I felt really overwhelmed. I thought it might be fun to just open it and start clicking around in the program to see what would happen. In addition, I recorded what I was doing. I almost deleted this video to tell you the truth, but then I thought, why would I do that? My channel is about learning experiences, and it might be interesting to look back and see how far I got in my journey. Hopefully, I will keep going, and the old videos may be good for a few laughs. After all, this is going to be a blender for the rest of us. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. The next Blender video is dropping next week, and I promise I will have learned something new to show you.